first term, the county manager didn't have opportunity to meet with all commissioners.
Did not?
Did not. Carl has been very fortunate. He gets to meet with all his county commissioners for the term. A lot of times, I know, a lot of times Greg and I meet down at the store with Carl. A lot of times our discussion is longer than the county commission meeting. A lot of our discussion is down there at the store. And he brings up points, I bring up points, Carl brings up points. But our mind's not set until now the meeting. But I think that's one reason we don't have the discussion like we normally do, because we've already discussed it at the store. I'm sure y'all discussed it up there. And you've got a lot more knowledge than you had before, which is good, because you can make the right decision. And another thing, my first term, I was a swing coach. So I considered that kind of like a divorce. You had to learn as much from the wife side as the husband side before you could make a decision. I tried to get as much as I could from both sides before I made that decision. But once I made the decision, I was very comfortable with it.
For you, you have adequate discussion beforehand, and I heard you say that you have an open mind until you vote. For Bo, if Bo wasn't part of that discussion, he's not benefited from hearing what you all talked about.
Yeah, but
He might keep an open mind, but he's not getting the full spectrum of what you all have discussed in terms of background.
Vote is getting zero.
But you can't have more than 3 commissioners at one time.
Which I think is, go ahead.
Except at a county commissioner meeting where it's proper to discuss it.
Right.
What are the alternatives?
Anyone who's interested from the public has opportunity to either log on if they have the capability or to attend the meeting.
So Carl, you're going to say in other experiences, how else can you put that discussion in the room?
Sure, there's several different ways. We've been employing one way over the past year or so. I meet with all the commissioners and do an agenda briefing before the agenda, so I get a sense of, what we can provide for them to assist them in making a decision. And I try and give them all the same information, answer questions. If issues come up, try and share them among the board and things like that. Another way to do it, the city of Gillette and some other places do this. On the Tuesday or the Thursday before, they would have an agenda meeting where there was no decisions made. It's still a meeting. In North Carolina, it would still be a special meeting. But basically, it's an agenda meeting. It would be doing the same thing we do, but with all 5 commissioners present. And then another way to do it is literally do the agenda briefing as part of the commissioners meeting, so that you do the background materials and background discussion are occurring actually at the regular meeting. Generally, what I've seen work best is either what we've been doing, but if that's not what the board wants, we can certainly change it, or having a special meeting as an agenda meeting, which is much more of an information item where I just going to walk through the agenda and make sure everybody's aware of it, but you still have time afterwards to talk to the public, consider it before you come into a regular meeting to take action on them. Those are different options that are available.
The one thing you don't want, I think, I put up here equal access of all 5 to information. I would hope that that's one of the things that you want to say. The worst situation you can have is that people aren't getting access to information. It's ripe for bad dynamics on your board, and it's ripe to put you in the middle. So, I would think that this would be one of the things that you want to say is that everybody has equal access to information. I'm putting words in your mouth, but.
I would like to add also to the public, not only the 5 of us, but to the citizens of the public.
Well, Carl has just laid out a couple of different options about how you could actually accomplish this. What are your reactions to that?
I would have no problem at all on the Thursday prior, making our meeting we've been doing a large group meeting.
Doing a special meeting as an agenda meeting?
No decisions are made, there's no votes or anything else, it's merely information.
All counties do that.
I mean, I'm gonna I'm just being blunt, honest. Right now, I mean, Bo does not feel like he is getting the information, and, you know, he needs to feel like he's getting the same thing that I'm getting or anybody else is getting.
And the
And-
public as well.
Yeah, and, you know, so I think I would feel a responsibility that, you know, this is not that big a deal. I mean, just change our meeting to that one particular time and have it at a common time and share the information. You know, we may have to drive a little farther or whatever, but that's part of it.
I feel like Bo, he meets by himself.
Right,
And the only reason we meet together is
our
convenient.
location, that's what we're close, but,
It's convenient for us. I mean, you know, he gets done Chase, we meet there at the store, it's 5 minutes away. But I could see, if I was in Bo's shoes, I could see that'd be an issue. And I agree with it totally. And I didn't know we could meet all 5 of us.
Well, it's a special meeting, I mean, it'll be a special meeting of the board.
But I'd be fine with that. And then Bo, you'd be part of it and you can voice your opinion.
So is this does this change the designation of an existing meeting, or is this add a meeting?
Adds a special meeting.
It adds a special
It's no
meeting.
big deal, I mean, we usually have a special meeting during most months, it seems like, look today, and we had one last night, so. But yeah, we can do an agenda briefing meeting. What I would do, I would simply go, just like I do in the small group meetings, is literally just walk through the agenda item by item and say, do you all have any questions? Give you a quick synopsis of the topic and have anybody, if anybody on the board has questions. Yeah.
I like for it to be specific to the agenda with no other action possible.
Well, generally, there is no action in these kinds of agenda briefing meetings.
But I'm saying I wouldn't want you to call in like closed session or anything for the agenda meeting. It'd be for an agenda meeting only.
That's all they're doing, Bo.
I know, I'm talking about if we create this
So it's-
special meeting
So it's,
Well, that's up to you all, I mean,
on the agenda only.
But there was a closed session need to be,
you need to handle it in an
Yeah.
appropriate manner,
Yeah.
according to law.
yeah.
what is your concern when you say agenda only?
You're mixing subjects. You need to be specific with this agenda, that it be for the impending meeting to come. Just don't conduct any business whatsoever.
Right.
Number one, it leaves a bad perception in the public's eyes. Well, they're gonna start doing this at the agenda briefing meetings.
So it's for sharing information, walking through items, synopsis of the topics on the agenda,
On the upcoming.
no vote or action, and public is absolutely welcome to attend those as well.
yes.
Well, state law, yeah, absolutely,
I'm just being clear.
yeah.
Anything else about these special agenda briefing meetings?
I don't think that's a bad idea. What kind of timing, what have you experienced, Carl? Because this is something new for us now, so.
The ones I've seen typically are usually held like over breakfast or something, and they're just kind of an informal time for you all to just kind of, we walk through it, probably in the commissioner's meeting room, but maybe sit at the table. So you all can just spread out your materials. And
Could we do it after school?
we can do it after school, we can do it late in the afternoon on Thursday afternoons or something. Typically, it's usually at least one business day, preferably 2 business days before the meeting, in case you start asking questions that I can't have answers to. I can try and get you information emailed out or whatever for the board meeting, so you can have that. And that's why I don't like to do it the day of a board meeting or that morning or something. So if you have your regular board meetings on a Monday night, you probably want to do them late on a Thursday afternoon.
Time suit you, 3:30, 4.
I would like maybe a 4 o'clock time in that way.
What about 4 o'clock?
Football or
That'd be good.
whatever, I can still cover it that
That
hour.
good to you both?
I'd go out in the mornings, early in the morning.
Yeah, but Greg's working in the morning, I'm working in the morning.
You ask me what time, I stay in my preference.
Okay.
Could you support a late afternoon, 4 o'clock?
Until I have early morning. We do the meetings on the late afternoon. If we met early in the mornings, then I might support a late afternoon for this. But what I'm trying to do is break that for people that come to the meetings, might not necessarily can come on another evening. I'm trying to divide up the meeting time so the public it gives great opportunity to the public to attend.
And so that is certainly a balance between that and your personal schedules that, and your ability to meet.
If we set forth with this and it gets it done, it may be meeting right after lunch.
This meeting after lunch, a special meeting?
Whatever we find, if we go through with this and set up this to be put in place, it may come, the only time we could, I'm saying we all agree on would be maybe go after lunch.
Well,
Well,
do you,
we got Drake's probably, you know, we got,
do you need to set the time now, or do you just wanna
No.
get into
No.
this idea that you all, sounds like you all support moving to this for these particular reasons, so that you can have greater sharing, equal sharing, more time to make, to research issues, to even explore the impact of these things that you just talked about. You might have a better way of accomplishing those overheard comments if you had this opportunity out there. Is that accurate? So it sounds like there's support for that. Specifics of the timing, you can work out offline, I guess.
And you may start it one way, change it to something else.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you have to pick one and stay with it for, you know, a long time. You may start it one way and say, this is not working for the majority of the group, or this is a relevant position. And you may want to change it. The location, the time, it's really what's this is the meeting that works for the 5 of you. Because it's going to be a briefing on what you're going to have to take action on, or what you're going to be asked to take action on at the regular meeting.
I know over the years, I met with John, and I met with you, Carl, and that's helped me more than anything, to just get information. And
That's what
I
I'm
would
trying
like to see every commissioner have that opportunity.
So for now, maybe you can consider it as a pilot, and you can actually change it and, for the best fit for the group and the best results.
Yep.
Good discussion.